Hi guys, welcome back to Olubori TV. We're bringing you the latest gist in town, the hottest news, the latest celebrity gist in the country, in and within Nigeria. We bring you the hottest as it happens. We serve him as it is hot. So we need not much time on introduction. Let's not take much of your time. Let's just go straight to what we have for you today, because today's on we just can't wait to have it, and you shouldn't miss it. So grab your seats and put on your seatbelt. It's gonna be a very, very fun ride. In a world where appearance often defines how we are treated, I mean, it's commonly said that the way you are dressed is the way you will be addressed. Okay, so there's one man who has dared to walk a different path, none other than Pastor Jimmy Odukoya, the tattooed, dreadlocked preacher, who has been shaking the foundations of tradition and has revealed something so deep, so spiritual. It just might change how you see obedience forever. And this is a story about dread, destiny, and divine instruction, of course. So he is not a typical pastor at all, because he is with a head full of dreadlocks. He has visible tattoos and a swag that screams confidence. I mean, the aura is full of confidence. Jimmy Odukoya stands out boldly in Nigeria's religious landscape. He is the son of the legendary Bimbo Odukoya. Jimmy has always honored his spiritual roots, but on his own terms, and for years, people have asked the same question over and over again: why won't you cut your hair? And the question has been asked by a lot of people, I mean, a whole lot of people, from church members to critics, to the social media, to the religious circle. Everyone had an opinion. Some question his holiness, like how come a pastor is having that kind of appearance with tattoos and dreadlocks and all that. And others doubted his leadership spirit. In a culture where pastors are expected to look a certain way, Jimmy's look became a talking point. It became a controversial topic, of course, but all this time he remained calm. Like, he hardly talked about it at all and hardly responded to it at all, until now, when he finally revealed the real reason he kept his dread. And it's deeper than anyone had ever imagined. Like, it goes beyond whatever we have been thinking, because he had just kept his silence ever since, but then he decided to talk about it now, and the reason wowed everyone for you. In a recent appearance, Pastor Jimmy shared something shocking, because there was a time he was considering cutting his hair. Actually, he was ready to do it, like really ready to do it, but then God spoke clear, direct, and powerfully to him. Like, God told him not to cut his hair. He was like, why? God said because keeping it would save a life, actually. And yes, you heard that right. God told him that someone's destiny, someone's very life depended on seeing a pastor who looked just like him. Dreadlocks, tattoos, and everything, like that. His appearance would be a sign to someone who has been lost, someone who is searching, and someone who thought they didn't belong in church. So, like, his appearance will be a source or a kind of attraction, like a means of telling somebody that it doesn't matter what you look like, you actually belong in church, and the church needs you also. Imagine being broken, confused, and ashamed of yourself. Then you walk into a church and seeing a man of God who looks just exactly like you. You know, if it makes you feel comfortable, makes you feel at home, and like you can relate with what they're saying, and it talks like you, who doesn't hide his scars. That one moment can spark healing and can spark your restoration journey towards God. And that's what God has revealed to Pastor Jimmy. His dress were more than hair, they were ministry. And to many, it might seem small actually, but for that one person whose life was on the line, it was everything. Like, it was everything. And the thing about this is, there most likely would have been thousands of other people like that one person whose life got saved. And this is actually a way of telling us that God doesn't always walk through suits and ties and all those big clothes like that. Sometimes he actually uses dreads and tattoos, and this actually gave a new perspective to the way God works and the Christian religion as a whole. And after the revelation hit the internet, people had plenty to say. Some were moved to tears, while others finally understood his journey. One person wrote, "Wow, know God and hear God for yourself. I'm reminded of how God instructed Hosea to marry a prostitute." Like he was referencing a story in the Bible where God told one of his disciples to marry a prostitute. So it was like picture that in today's world, and that's actually a very, very big bold step to take. Nomzi wrote, "I always find this is a situation admirable. I love the fact they didn't shave it because it would seem a Christian man must wear low cuts. But if his natural hair, it's only lengthier." And that's very true. Like he actually is not adding any other thing to it. Yeah, if that's natural hair, and he can choose to keep it or not keep it. So it's a very, very controversial topic. Actually, we are beginning to look at it because that's actually his natural hair. It's only lengthier than usual. Peachy Kicks even asked a question like, "Is using your natural hair for dread a thing? Cause I don't know if I'm missing something." Like people had a lot to say. People had a lot of questions that are yet to be answered. Like, and that's actually a question that is supposed to be asked. Like, it's natural hair for God's sake. So why are people making so much noise about his hair? And this moment has a reminder of that obedience isn't always about doing what people expect. I mean, you are not meant to just follow people's opinion and just like follow their wishes and what they are expecting of you. You are not expected to follow people's standards, but doing what God commands. And Pastor Jimmy could have cut it there to please the world, but he chose to obey a divine instruction from God, one that might have saved the soul from destruction. And that's not just bold, that's also kingdom work. Like it is helping the ministry in some kind of way. In a world full of noise, Pastor Jimmy living to what God has for him and he living to the true word of God, which is the only thing that actually matters. The only thing that actually matters in one's life is God's word for you and His calling for your life, and that's all. You don't have to seek to please everybody. So now, the next time someone asks why Pastor Jimmy Odukoya still wears dread and has his tattoos and all that, the answer is now clear. He wears them because God says so. According to him, according to his word, he said God says so. And he wears them for the one life that needed to see him just as he is, and maybe just maybe that life was yours. And this is Olubori TV. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. If this story stirred something in your soul, until next time, remember, sometimes the very thing that the world wants you to change is exactly the thing that God wants you to keep. Stay safe.